Good morning, Rangers. My name is Staff Sergeant Sun, and I'll be your primary instructor for the next period of instruction, which will be on how to conduct a squad recon. Notice that we'll have this board that you can utilize to follow along as we discuss this class. On the left side, you'll notice that we have a series of administrative notes you can utilize to follow along. Units on reconnaissance operations collect specific information, PIR or IR, based on instructions from the higher commander. The tasks of reconnaissance are as follows. They are to report, locate, detect, identify, confirm, deny, and pinpoint. Now, the purpose is to generally support the commander's purpose and is the same as any other Army operation. Here are some of the fundamentals of recon. First off, obtain required information. Number 2, avoid detection by the enemy. Minimize movement on the objective area. Move no closer to the enemy than necessary. If possible, use long-range surveillance or night vision devices, and to utilize camouflage, stealth, noise, and light discipline, and of course, minimize radio traffic. When we employ security measures, in addition, we will also talk about our task organization. Now, the task of reconnaissance. In area reconnaissance, patrol collects all available information on PIR and other intelligence not specified in the order for the area. The patrol completes the recon and reports all the information by the time specified in the order, and we have to make sure that the patrol is not compromised. For a zone reconnaissance, patrol determines all PIR and other intelligence not specified in the order for its assigned zone. The patrol reconnoiters without detection by the enemy. The patrol completes the recon and reports all information by the time specified in the order. This is your basic task organization of the recon. R&S Team 1 is going to consist of the squad leader and the lead team rifleman. They're going to have the PRC 148, note and sketch materials, and a map. R&S Team 2 is going to be the lead team leader and lead team leader grenadier. They're also going to have a PRC 148, note and sketch materials, and a map. Third is going to be the S&O position, which will consist of the lead team automatic rifleman and trail team grenadier. They're going to have the PRC 148, note, sketch materials, and a map. And finally, we have ORP security, consisting of the trail team leader, the RTO, machine gun teams, and the remainder of the other squad members. As a note and sketch materials for sector sketches and range cars and status cars. And of course, the PRC 119 with the RTO is going to stay at the ORP. Now, Rangers, here's some planning considerations. When planning for your recon, you utilize the acronym METTC, which stands for Mission, Enemy, Troops, Terrain, Time, and Civil Considerations. However, this time I will not get into detail because you receive an in-depth class on how to appropriately plan for a recon using this method. Now let's talk about a little bit about your reporting criteria. Rangers, you will utilize the salute format in reporting your recon. Salute stands for size, the size of the element observed. Activity, the activities conducted by the observed personnel or vehicle and equipment. Location, the exact location of the observed personnel / activity, and, if necessary, their direction of travel. Unit, now due to the difficulty of ascertaining the unit designation of those observed, the identifying marking on personnel and equipment will suffice. Time and date, the time and date of initial observations and the duration of the activity. And equipment, detailed information in reference to uniforms, individual equipment, weapons, and vehicles, and so on. This information is important in determination of enemy unit identification as well as their intent. Now let's talk a little bit about the area reconnaissance cloverleaf method. You'll notice the lower right portion of the board shows objective larceny and the cloverleaf method that the Rangers utilize while conducting a recon of the objective. I will give more information about the cloverleaf method later on in this period of instruction. Now let's talk about the actual recon proper. Step 1, start-stop. Rangers, the actions of the objective for the squad recon begins at the security halt prior to the ORP. The action ends with the dissemination of information and the call to hire with the update operation schedule, or your OPSKED. Your security halt. Until I say otherwise, all the following actions take place in periods of good visibility. When the squad is approximately 200 to 400 meters away from the ORP, the squad leader gives the hand and arm signal to halt to the lead team leader. Notice that the designated security halt has a grid location and a terrain feature associated with it. When the lead team leader receives a signal, he will move to the nearest covered and concealed position and assume the short halt posture. Then the team leader issues the hand and arm signal for the halt to the team and ensures that his team follows the lead. The short haul posture is nothing more than taking a knee behind cover and concealment, keeping your rucksack on your back, weapon at the ready, pulling security in your hasty sector of fire. The squad leader continues moving until the headquarters element closes the distance with the lead team, and the trail team can achieve interlocking sectors of fire with the lead team. Then, the squad leader issues the hand and arm signal for halt, assumes the short halt posture, and ensures that the entire headquarters element does the same. The trail team leader will continue moving until his team closes distance with the headquarters element, and then ensures his team can interlock sectors of fire with the lead team. At this point, the trail team leader issues the hand and arm signal for halt, assumes the short halt posture, and ensures that his team does the same. The trail team leader also confirms that his grenadier maintains rear security from the 4 o'clock to the 8 o'clock locations. Next, we're going to go ahead and conduct SLLS and a pinpoint. Once the entire squad is halted, the squad conducts SLLS. The squad leader initiates SLLS by covering his non-firing hand behind a corresponding ear. SLLS stands for stop, look, listen, and smell. Rangers, when you stop, it is important that you stop all movement. When you look around, you're looking around for signs of the enemy, such as trash, old fighting positions, or the enemy themselves. When we listen for signs of the enemy, such as engines running, the enemy talking, or the enemy moving. When we smell, Rangers smell for signs of the enemy, like food, smoke, from fires, or POL products, such as fuel. The squad conducts SLLS for approximately 3 to 5 minutes, or as long as the squad leader deems necessary. When SLLS is complete, the squad leader terminates SLLS by making the slashing motion by his ear, just like this. After terminating SLLS, the squad leader then pinpoints the squad's location. The lead team leader moves to the squad leader's position in the center of the security hall. The squad leader and lead team leader pull out their maps, pinpoint their current location, and determine the distance and direction for the next movement to the ORP. At the same time, the trail team leader monitors the men and ensures the squad maintains security by rotating around the perimeter of the security hall. After the squad leader confirms the squad's current location and the next movement with the lead team leader, the team leaders exchange positions and the squad leader confirms its information with the trail team leader. Next, we move into the long halt and the spot checks. Once the squad leader and team leaders determine the squad's location and have a route to the tentative ORP, the squad leader issues tasks, conditions, and standards to the team leaders for placing their men in the long halt posture. The squad leader tells the team leaders to strong point at the 10, 2, 4, and 8 o'clock positions or wherever he deems most appropriate. The lead team leader starts at the 9 o'clock position and moves in a clockwise manner to the 3 o'clock position in order to place his men in the long halt posture. He will move to his men to the designated positions and either assumes a short halt posture and pulls security for each man while they assume the long halt posture, or he will have one of the Rangers in the security position pull security for each other while they transition to the long halt posture. Rangers, understand that the squad leader can designate any clock position for the team leaders to strong point their men. The squad leader makes a decision on where to strong point based on factors such as terrain, available cover and concealment, avenues of approach, and etc. For the purposes of this block of instruction only, we will use the 10, 2, 4, and 8 o'clock positions as the locations where the squad leader has deemed it most appropriate for his men to be strong pointed. A Ranger transitions to the long halt posture by rotating the rucksack off his back, placing it frame down with the cat eyes facing to the center of the security hall, getting in the prone position behind cover and concealment, and pulling security in his assigned sector of fire. The trail team leader starts at the 3 o'clock positions and moves in a clockwise manner to the 9 o'clock position to place his men in the long halt posture at the locations the squad leader has designated. The trail team leader has the same options to place his men in the long halt posture as the lead team leader. In transition to the long halt posture, the team leaders assign their men a sector of fire using natural terrain features such as that tree behind that rock. Team leaders ensure that each man's sector of fire interlocks with the man to his left and right approximately 35 meters out. Additionally, team leaders show their men the squad's current location on the map and the distance and direction for their next movement, which in this case is the movement to the ORP. After the team leaders have placed their men in the long halt posture, they return to the squad leader's position in the center of the perimeter. At that time, the squad leader spot checks the perimeter to ensure that his tasks, conditions, and standards have been met. If they are not met, the squad leader reissues the tasks, conditions, and standards and spot checks until they are met. While team leaders can place their personnel in the long halt posture, the squad leader can place the M240 gun team based on MET-TC analysis. Next, we'll cover the 5-point between the BTL and the ATLs. Once the squad leader's task condition standards are met, he tells the trail team leader to move around the perimeter and ensure that the squad maintains security. the lead team leader preps his men going on the leader's recon of the tentative ORP. The personnel going on the recon are as follows: the lead team leader, the lead team rifleman, the lead team automatic rifleman, and the squad leader himself. All personnel on the recon bring their rucksacks with them. Once prepared, all personnel on the leader's recon meet with the squad leader so he can spot check rucksacks, recamouflage, check communication, ensure that weapons are locked and loaded with a full magazine. After meeting with these personnel, the squad leader issues 2 5-point contingency plans. The squad leader gives the first 5-point contingency plan to the trail team leader to cover the squad leader's absence during the leader's recon of the ORP. When this is complete, the squad leader gives the second 5-point contingency plan to the lead team leader and the lead team automatic rifleman. This plan covers a period when the squad leader leaves the ORP security team at the tentative ORP, moves back to the security halt, and returns with the rest of the squad to the tentative ORP. The squad leader uses the acronym GOTWA, or GOTWA, to give the 5-point contingency plans. GOTWA stands for going, where the squad leader is going. Others that the squad leader is taking with him. Time that the squad leader will be gone. What to do if the squad leader does not return. And actions to be taken upon enemy contact for both the squad leader and the ranger receiving the plan. The squad leader will give the GOTWA to the trail team leader. Going, I'm going to recon for the tentative ORP. Others, I am taking ranger lead team leader, ranger lead team rifleman, and ranger lead team automatic rifleman. This is a total of 4 personnel. Time, I will be gone for 1 hour. What? If I'm not back in 1 hour, I want you to try to contact me first by FM. If you can't contact me, then call higher, inform them of the situation, and ask for guidance. Actions. If I take contact, we will break contact and attempt to link up with you here at the security halt. If we cannot do this, I will link up with you at the last en route rally point. You should be able to hear the contact. I want you to remain in this place and be prepared to assist us in breaking contact. If you make contact, defend in place until you feel as you're about to be overrun. In this case, brace contact and move to the last en route rally point and conduct rally point procedures. Establish security, establish a chain of command, call higher, and inform them of the situation. Wait 45 minutes or until the remainder of the patrol has linked up and then continue your mission. I will be able to hear the contact and work my way back to you and assist you in executing the battle drill. Now, in addition, the squad leader also issues additional special instructions to the trail team leader prior to disseminating the 5-point. Readjust the perimeter as necessary, ensure the RTO monitors the radio, and ensures that the element maintains security. The trail team leader then backbriefs the squad leader. The squad leader answers any questions that the trail team leader may have at the time. The 5-point begins when the leader's recon leaves the security halt. The squad leader then issues a GOTWA to the lead team leader and the lead team automatic rifleman for when he leaves him at the 6 o'clock position of the tentative ORP. This GOTWA will sound something like this. Going, I am going back to the security halt to pick up the rest of this personnel for the squad. Others, I am taking myself and the ranger that's going to be the lead team rifleman. Time, I'll be gone for no longer than 1 hour. What, if I'm not back in 1 hour, I want you to try to contact me by FM. If you cannot contact me, then make your way back to the security halt where we will link up. Actions, regardless of who makes contact, both teams will break contact and fight their way back to the security halt. If either team is unable to make it back to security halt, we will link up at the last en route rally point. The lead team leader and lead team automatic rifleman then backbrief the squad leaders. The squad leader will then answer any questions they have at the time. The squad leader will also issue additional special instructions to the lead team leader. The squad leader will tell the lead team leader that when the squad leader calls the lead team leader for the far recognition signal, the lead team leader and lead team automatic rifleman should assume a short haul posture to help guide the squad to the ORP and to assist the lead team leader in quickly placing his personnel into their positions on the perimeter. Next, we're going to conduct recon of the ORP. After the squad leader issues the 5-point and special instructions, the personnel designated for the leader's recon move to the 12 o'clock position. The trail team leader takes up position at 12 o'clock to count out the departing personnel. When the squad leader sees the trail team leader in the position, the squad leader will signal to the lead team leader to move out. Go ahead and refer to FOOM on the board. The leader's recon moves in a diamond formation with personnel spaced at approximately 10 meters and at 45 degrees. The lead team leader is at the apex of the diamond formation. the lead team rifleman is positioned to the right and rear of the lead team leader. The lead team automatic rifleman is to the left and rear of the lead team leader. The squad leader moves at the rear of the formation. Halfway to the ORP, which is approximately 200 meters, the squad leader begins to looking at locations for some or all of the characteristics of a good ORP. Now let's cover some of the characteristics of good ORP. There are 5 characteristics I want you to keep in mind. Number 1, it's easily defendable for a short period of time. Number 2, it's away from natural lines of drift. Number 3, it's away from high-speed avenues of approach. Number 4, provides good cover and concealment from the ground and the air. And of course, number 5, provides little or no tactical value to the enemy. Once the squad leader finds an area that meets most or all of these characteristics and is in the vicinity of the designated grid location, the squad leader signals the lead team leader to halt the patrol as previously described. Next, they're going to go ahead and conduct SLLS. When the lead team leader receives the halt signal, he assumes a short halt posture at the next available cover and concealed position. The rest of the recon element follows his lead. The element then conducts SLLS as previously described. We're going to go ahead and now cover clear, secure, and the 5-point. After SLLS is complete, the lead team leader and the lead team rifleman must clear the tentative ORP utilizing the zigzag method. The squad leader identifies the 3, 6, 9, and 12 o'clock positions. The lead team leader and lead team rifleman slowly clear from the 6 o'clock position to the 3 o'clock position, to the 9 o'clock position, to the 12, and then back to the 6 o'clock position. When clearing, the lead team leader and lead team rifleman look for signs of the enemy's presence, such as fresh tire tracks, trash, foxholes, expended ammunition, or anything uncommon to the surrounding area. If they spot any of these signs, the lead team leader and lead team rifleman return immediately. After 2 rangers clear the ORP, the squad leader spot checks the area by moving to the ORP with the lead team leader and verifying that everything is suitable for the squad to establish an ORP here. The squad leader will personally check one position, or he may decide to check all positions within the tentative ORP while conducting his spot checks. While the squad leader approves the ORP site, he places the lead team automatic rifleman at the 6 o'clock position, facing the 12 o'clock position. The lead team leader remains at the 6 o'clock position, facing towards the direction of the security halt. Once the lead team leader and the lead team automatic rifleman are in position, the squad leader tells the lead team leader that the 5-point contingency plan that he briefed in the ORP is now in effect. Additionally, the squad leader ensures that the lead team leader and the lead team automatic rifleman have their feet interlocked so that they can utilize the tap code with their feet. The squad leader also ensures that the 2 rangers understand the tap code. Rangers, this is the tap code. One tap from one ranger to another means that everything is okay. If everything is okay with the other ranger, he responds with 1 tap. 2 taps means he sees or hears something. 3 taps means that the rangers need to move time now. When in a security position with another rangers utilize this tap code as a non-verbal means of communication. Before the squad leader and lead team rifleman move back to the security halt, the squad leader communicates to the trail team leader that the squad leader is returning to the security halt. This is the FAR recognition signal. When the trail team leader receives the signal, he ensures that all remaining rangers at the security halt take up the short halt posture and are ready to move out. When the squad leader and lead team rifleman are within the close proximity of the security halt, they stop, and the squad leader gives them the near recognition signal. An example of a near recognition signal during good visibility is a challenge and password. After the squad leader and trail team leader exchange their near recognition signals, the trail team leader counts the squad leader and lead team rifleman into the security halt. After movement ceases, the elements conducts SLLS as previously described. After completion of SLLS, the squad leader disseminates any changes to the plan and the route to the tentative ORP to the lead team rifleman. The lead team rifleman takes charge of the remainder of the lead team at this time and disseminates the information as well. The trail team leader also disseminates this information to his men at the same time. Once dissemination is complete, the squad assumes the order of movement to the tentative ORP, which is the remainder of the lead team, then the headquarters element, followed by the trail team. The lead team rifleman leads the element out of the security halt. Prior to leaving the security halt, the squad leader calls the lead team leader and tells him that the rest of the squad is moving to his location. This is the FAR recognition signal. When the lead team leader and the lead team automatic rifleman receive the signal, they will take up the short halt posture. Now we move on to occupy and strong pointing. Once the lead team rifleman sees that the lead team leader, he halts the patrol and exchanges the near-wrecking signals with the lead team leader as previously described. The squad leader moves to the front of the formation and gets face-to-face with the lead team leader. At that time, the squad leader tells the team leader to take his team and the strong points at 10 and 2 o'clock positions in the short hold posture. The squad leader stays at the 6 o'clock position as a control measure for occupation of the ORP. After the lead team passes through the 6 o'clock position, the RTO moves into the ORP followed by the machine gun team. The squad leader tells the RTO machine gun team where to move inside the center of the perimeter. Once in position, the RTO machine gun team assumes the short hold posture. The squad leader then orients the trail team leader to positions tentative ORP by pointing out the 6 o'clock and the 12 o'clock position. The squad leader will also point out the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock positions that the lead team leader is strong pointing. The squad leader then tells the trail team leader to strong point his men at the 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock positions. Due to the fact that the trail team leader is unfamiliar with the ORP, the squad leader may choose to assist the trail team leader in placing his men in the designated positions. He can do this by personally placing all members of the trail team into the designated positions, or by personally placing men into one of the designated positions while the trail team leader places men into the other positions. Next, we're going to go ahead and conduct SLLS and pinpoint. The entire squad moves into the ORP and halts. At that time, the squad leader spot checks the perimeter to ensure that there is 360-degree security with all personnel in the short hold posture. Then the squad leader conducts SLLS and pinpoints their location as previously described. If the squad leader is not satisfied, he can move the ORP left, right, or perhaps closer to the objective to find a more suitable location. Next, we're going to go ahead and get into the long haul posture and position the machine gun teams. Team leaders issue tasks, conditions, and standards for placing their men in the long haul posture and strong pointing the 10, 2, 4, and 8 o'clock positions. The lead team leader strong points the 10 and 2 o'clock positions, and the trail team leader strong points at the 4 and 8 o'clock positions. Team leaders strong point their personnel, issue sectors of fire, and disseminate information as previously described for the security halt. The squad leader will place the M40 Bravo team at the 12 o'clock position or the most likely avenue of approach. Next, we move into a spot check and conducting the OPSKED. Once the team leaders place their personnel in the long haul posture and return to the squad leader's location, the squad leader checks to ensure his standards are met. When satisfied, the RTO calls in the OPSKED to hire to communicate that the squad has occupied the ORP. Next, we begin prepping men, weapons, and equipment for the recon teams. At this point, the squad prepares the men, weapons, and equipment for the objective. No man leaves the ORP or moves to the objective until he is fully prepared for conducting the actions on the objective. Priority for preparation goes to the recon elements. There are 3 recon elements. Recon Surveillance 1 consists of the squad leader and the lead team rifleman. Recon and Surveillance Team 2 consists of the lead team leader and the lead team grenadier. The Surveillance and Observation element is the lead team automatic rifleman and the trail team grenadier. After the lead team leader preps his men, he moves to the squad leader's position. The lead team leader and the squad leader prep and inspect each other. Men who are going to be preparing or undergoing inspection pulls 3 to 5 meters off the line and maintains Northern Lights discipline. After men are prepared and spot checked, the squad leader spot checks the men. When the recon elements are preparing for the objective, the trail team leader ensures that the rest of the squad maintains security on the perimeter and helps cross-load equipment as necessary. It is imperative that during the preparation of rangers, weapons, and equipment, the squad maintains noise and light discipline to prevent detection by the enemy. The squad leader then issues tasks, conditions, and standards for preparing the rangers, weapons, and equipment. The following standards apply to rangers. During the inspections or spot checks, the team leader and squad leader start with the head and work down. Each ranger camouflages their helmet by placing foliage inside their camo band. This helps break up the outline of the helmet. However, the foliage should not extend higher than 6 inches from the top of the helmet. Rangers must camouflage all exposed skin, including the neck and the ears. Unless the ranger wears gloves, that ranger will camouflage their hands as well. Anyone who wears gloves must keep them on the entire time. Each ranger must conceal all metal parts on their fighting load carrier. A ranger does this by placing camo or black tape to cover anything shiny. Rangers must also ensure their equipment on their fighting load carrier does not make any noise. If the magazine makes noise when a ranger shakes the ammo pouch, the ranger then puts tape on them or places MRE cardboard or pieces of foliage between them to help silence them. The team leader and squad leader check the magazines inside the ammunition pouches and ensure they are full. I'll explain how to do this in just a moment. Each ranger must top off his hydration pack and check his 1-quart canteen to ensure that they are full. If a ranger's canteen is not full, the ranger fills up from his 2-quart on his rucksack. Each ranger must have 2 full 1-quart canteens and their hydration pack for actions on the objective. Then each ranger ensures that he has fresh foliage in their fighting low carrier to break up the outline of the body. The ACUs must also be serviceable. If they are not, rangers repair them using their sewing kit or tape. If ranger cannot repair their ACUs, they're going to use camouflage stick to cover any exposed skin. The boots must be serviceable. The following standards apply to weapons. When preparing weapons, ensure that the weapon is on safe and properly tied off with the front side posts to the non-firing shoulder on the fighting load carrier. Also, ensure that the tie-down does not hinder the operation of the weapon. I'll explain how to inspect each weapon system. For the M4/M16 series of weapons, check all parts and ensure they are tied down in accordance with the 4th RTB and SOP. If there are any shiny parts in a weapon, use a camouflage stick, black tape, or black marker to subdue them. Check the handguards to ensure that they do not rattle. If they do, tape them down to help silence them. Remember, when taping, be sure that the tape does not interfere with the aiming or the function of the weapon. Next, check the magazine to ensure it is full and the chamber to see that there is a round present. To do this, silently press the magazine release button and remove the magazine from the weapon. With your index finger, press down on the rounds. If the magazine is full, your finger should not push down past the first joint of your finger. If the magazine is not full, replace it with a full one or load additional rounds into it. To check the chamber, place your hand under the magazine well and let your fingers cover the ejection cover. This does 2 things. First, it will keep the cover from slapping down the side of the weapon, and second, it will keep the round from falling out on the ground in the event that you pull the charging handle too far to the rear. Next, with the other hand, pull the charging handle to the rear just far enough to observe a round in the chamber. Then, slowly ease the charging handle back forward and silently tap the forward assist to ensure that the round is fully seated inside the chamber. Also, while you're checking to see if there's a round in the chamber, you should also check to make sure that the weapon is properly lubricated. Place the magazine back inside the weapon and ensure that it is seated properly by pushing the forward assist 3 times. Then, make sure the weapon is still on safe. For the M320, check all parts and ensure that they are tied down in accordance with the 4th RTB and SOP. The M4/M16 portion of the M320 will be prepared in the same manner that I just previously described. In addition, you also inspect the breech tube. To inspect the breech tube, go ahead and place your hands over the left side of the tube. This will prevent the tube from swinging out loudly and potentially ejecting the 40mm round. Next, with your other hand, press it up on the barrel release latch and slowly control the opening of the barrel, ensuring that the 40mm round does not fall out. Pull the round out and make sure that you have the proper round loaded. Also, inspect the inside of the tube to ensure there are no cracks or obstructions. Quietly slide the round back into the chamber and lock the tube back into position while making sure the weapon is on safe. Next, we cover the M249 saw. Check all parts and ensure that they are tied down in accordance with the 4th RTB and SOP. Check the M249 saw for shiny areas and correct the deficiencies using a camouflage stick, black tape, or a black marker. If there are any pieces rattling, you can tape it down, or in the case of the heat shield, remove it and place it inside your rucksack, ensuring that it is tied down. Next, ensure the bolt is locked to the rear and the weapon is on safe. Place your left hand on the belt of ammo to control the rounds, and raise the feed tray cover and remove the rounds from the feed tray. Then, raise the feed tray and inspect the inside of the chamber and receiver for any brass, links, or debris. Also ensure that the feeder paws in the feed tray cover are moving freely. Make sure the M249 is properly lubricated as well. Check the rounds to ensure that they are clean and free from dirt, rust, or debris. Ensure that a full drum is loaded into the weapon and the rounds have been seated properly to the rear of the feed tray. Once this is done, then tilt the weapon to the right and slowly close the feed tray cover until the feed tray cover locks into place. Again, check the weapon is on safe. The additional saw drums that should be in bandoliers or the saw gunner's pouches. Ensure that the lead team leader, automatic rifleman, takes his full combat load onto the objective. For the M240 Bravo machine gun, check the M240 Bravo for any shiny objects or loose parts and correct the deficiencies the same way you would correct M249 saw. Check all parts and ensure they are tied down in accordance with 4th RTB and SOP. Place your left hand on the belt of ammo to control the rounds, and raise the feed tray cover and remove the rounds from the feed tray. Raise the feed tray and inspect the chamber area and receiver for any brass, links, or debris. Also ensure that the feeder paws and the feed tray are moving freely. Make sure that the M240 Bravo is properly lubricated as well. Ensure that the rounds are properly seated in the rear of the feed tray and that a 100-round starter belt is loaded. Once this is done, tilt the weapon to the right and slowly close the feed tray until the feed tray cover locks into place. Again, check that the weapon is on safe. In addition to the 100-round starter belt, the assistant gunner will also have 500 rounds linked together for use in the ORP. Next, the AT4. The AT4 will be inspected for serviceability prior to leaving the ORP. The Bravo Team Grenadier should have the AT4 tied down to the non-firing shoulder of the fighting load carrier. Inspect the fiberglass tube, sights, transport safety pins, and firing mechanisms for damage. Leave the sight cover slightly open for rapid deployment in the event it has to be used. Ensure that the Alpha Team's AT4 is prepared in the same manner and cross-loaded to a member of the squad who will remain inside the ORP. The M18A1 Claymores will also be inspected for serviceability and accountability. Check all parts to ensure that they are tied down in accordance with 4th RTB and SOP. Also ensure that the Claymore wire is properly wound up around the spool. The Bravo team leader will keep all Claymore mines in the ORP and will place them to cover dead spaces or possible avenues of approach to increase ORP security once the squad leader departs towards the objective with the recon elements. Now, preparing for equipment. A good technique to use is the acronym RTB and S, which stands for radios, tripod, binos, NVGs, and special equipment. Radios. For both the PRC 119er and other FM radios, the RTO needs to ensure that each radio has an extra battery and the radios and antenna are tied down properly. Prior to leaving the ORP, each ranger carrying a radio adjusts the volume knob and conducts radio checks so that the squad knows that all radios are working and are on the right frequency. The RTO keeps the PRC 119er. The squad leader, the lead team leader, and the trail team grenadier each carry a PRC 148 embedder. This ensures that each member of the recon elements and the ORP received elements have a radio. Tripod. The assistant gunner fully extends the tripod with the T&E and pintle assembly already attached to the tripod and tied down. For the recon, the machine gun team mounts the M240 Bravo on the tripod and remains at the ORP during action on the objective. Binos. The personnel carrying the binos are the lead team leader and the squad leader. The lead team leader and squad leader must inspect the binos for serviceability, place the lanyard around their necks, and ensure that the binos are tied down on the non-firing shoulder of the FLC. Additionally, the lead team leader and the squad leader check the objective lenses to make sure that they are taped. This reduces the chance of glare and giving away their positions. The binos should still allow enough light to enter the objective lens to work properly. Night vision goggles. Each ranger attaches the PVS-14 to their helmet mounts and adjusts them. Then, each ranger places their hand over the objective lens in order not to burn out the reticles, and turns the MVG on to ensure that there's a green glow and the device works. Each ranger should rotate the on switch to IR and see the IR indicator's light illuminate. Then, rangers place the NVG lanyard around their neck and tie them to the non-firing shoulder of the fighting load carrier. Tie-downs must not hamper with the focusing of the NVGs. Then, each ranger places the NVGs around their neck during using the neck cord and place the NVG inside their ACU top. The M240 Bravo machine gun team mounts the PAC-15 Alpha on the 240 Bravo. The team ties the PAC-15 Alpha to the mount, ensures that it is serviceable, and confirms that the team has an extra set of batteries for the PAC-15 Alpha. Every ranger with NVGs has a set of extra batteries. Special equipment. The only other special equipment for the recon is note-taking material. The squad leader, lead team leader, and lead team automatic riflemen should have note-taking material so they can make a military sketch of PIR on the objective. This note-taking material needs to be weatherproofed so that rain cannot destroy the information. Special equipment for the trail team leader includes a range card and note-taking material. The range card is used to pick the sector of fire for the machine gun. The note-taking materials are used to create a copy of the range card and create a squad sector sketch. The trail team leader must be sure to note the location of all weapons on their perimeter in the sector sketch, such as the AT4, Claymore mines, 320s, and so on and so forth. Next, we're going to confirm the route. During the preparation of rangers' weapons and equipment, the squad leader confirms the route to the objective with the lead team leader. Next, we begin the inspection of the recon teams. After the team leaders finish preparing their rangers, they bring their rangers to the squad leader so he can inspect them. After the squad leader inspects the rangers and determines they meet his standards, team leaders will place their men in the formation order moving to the objective. You can reference this on your board. The lead team leader then spot checks the squad leader. Next, we're going to cover the departure of the ORP and the 5-point contingency plan. Prior to departing the ORP, the squad leader issues a 5-point contingency plan to the trail team leader. An example got will just sound something like this. Going. I am going to conduct the actions on for the recon. Others I'm taking with me. I'm taking the lead team rifleman, the lead team leader, the lead team grenadier, the lead team automatic rifleman, and the trail team grenadier. Including me, this is a total of 6 personnel. Time. I'll be gone for approximately 4 hours. What? If I'm not back in 4 hours, I want you to try and contact me via FM first. If you cannot contact me, then call higher, inform them of the situation, and ask for further guidance. Actions. These are twofold. If I make contact, we will break contact and attempt to link up with you here at the ORP. If not, or we are being tracked, I will link up with you to the last en route rally point. You should be able to hear the contact. I want you to remain in place and prepared to assist us in breaking contact. If you make contact, defend in place until as you feel you're about to be overrun. In this case, break contact to the last en route rally point and conduct rally point procedures. I'll be able to hear the contact and work my way back to you and assist you in executing the battle drill in place. The squad leader issues additional instructions to the trail team leader to disseminate the 5-point contingency plan, readjust the perimeter as necessary, and place the claymores to increase ORP security while the recon element is absent, create a range card for the machine gun, and a sector sketch for the ORP security. Ensure that the RTO monitors the radio and ensures that the remaining rangers maintain security. Additionally, the squad leader tells the trail team leader to continue to prepare rangers, weapons, and equipment for night movement while maintaining at least 50% security. The squad leader also tells the trail team leader that when the squad leader calls the ORP with the far recognition signal, the trail team leader must get everyone into short haul posture and be prepared to move. After giving all these instructions, the squad leader has the trail team leader back brief him. The squad leader issues a 5-point to the rangers on the S&O position and R&S position specifically. The S&O 5-point contingency plan covers the period while the R&S teams 1 and 2 are conducting a recon of the objective. It will sound something like this. Going. I'm going to recon the objective. Others, I'm taking R&S teams 1 and 2. Time. I will be gone for approximately 3 hours. What? If I'm not back in 3 hours, I want you to move back to the release point, secure your rucksacks, and if I'm not there at the release point, then move back to the ORP. Actions. If your position gets compromised, you will break contact and fight your way back to the RP and wait 5 minutes. If I'm not there in 5 minutes, move back to the ORP. Do not forget to take your rucksacks with you. If an RSS teams come into contact, you will execute the compromise plan, then move back to the release point, wait there for me for 5 minutes. If I'm not back at the release point after 5 minutes, move back to the ORP. The squad leader gives additional instruction to the S&O team that they should take notes on the PR they obtain from their positions. Additionally, the squad leader also tells rangers on S&O and R&S teams to make a military sketch and keep track of the time for events occurring on the objective, such as how long it takes for a guard to rove the perimeter. Most importantly, the squad leader emphasizes that the rangers must not compromise their positions. The squad leader receives a back brief from the rangers on S&O and R&S to ensure that they understand the squad leader's 5-point. The R&S 2's 5-point contingency plan will be covered the period while the R&S 1 and 2 are conducting a recon of the objective. It will sound something like this. Going. I'm going to recon the objective. Others. S&O are in their position and I'm taking Ranger so-and-so as my security man for an R&S Team 1. Time. I will meet you back here in the RP in 2 hours. What? If I'm not back in 2 hours, I want you to attempt to contact me via FM. If you cannot contact me via FM, secure your rucksack and then move back to the ORP. Actions. If your position gets compromised, you will break contact and fight your way back to the RP and wait 5 minutes. If I'm not there in 5 minutes, move back to the ORP. Do not forget to take your rucksacks with you. If the other R&S teams or S&O teams come into contact, you'll execute the compromise plan, then move back to the release point, wait for me there for 5 minutes. If I'm not back at the release point after 5 minutes, move back to the ORP. The squad leader gives R&S Team 2 additional instructions that they take notes of all PIR from their positions. Additionally, the squad leader tells Rangers on R&S Team 2 to make a military sketch and a salute format of the information that they take. Most importantly, the squad leader emphasized that R&S Team 2 does not cross the LOA or allow itself to get compromised. The squad leader receives a back brief to ensure that the squad leader's 5-point is understood. The squad leader confirms that every Ranger on the recon understands the route to the objective and the compromise plan. The squad leader briefs the details of the compromise plan at the end of this board or the end of the plan. When the squad is ready to move out of the ORP, The trail team leader moves to 12 o'clock positions, establishes a choke point, and counts a squad out of the perimeter. The formation order of movement to the objective is the modified wedge. Go ahead and refer to the sketch that we have for you. Once the trail team leader is ready to count the squad out, the squad leader signals the lead team leader to move out on the azimuth towards the objective. Next, we're going to cover the trail team leader responsibilities in the ORP. Once the trail team leader counts out the recon element, he disseminates the 5-point contingency plan to all members of the squad in the ORP. He then readjusts the security perimeter as necessary in order to maintain security and direct the machine gun team to create a range card for their sector of fire. While the machine gun team is creating this range card, the trail team leader needs to determine where to place the claymores and the AT4s. Good locations to play claymores include areas of dead space and likely avenues of approach. Good locations to position anti-tank weapons include any likely avenue of approach. Weapons on the perimeter should be positioned to maximize their capabilities and in positions where it can be effectively deployed. For example, the machine gun should be positioned to achieve enfilade and plunging fire along likely avenues of approach. Classes of fire can be found on your Ranger Handbook on page 10-3. Prior to moving out to the ORP to emplace the claymores, the trail team must alert his men along the perimeter that he's moving forward to emplace the claymores and not to engage anything moving until he returns to the perimeter. Once the trail team leader emplaces the claymores and camouflages them, he's going to go ahead and position the AT4s. He will also inspect the range card to ensure that it is accurate and complete. He will make a copy of the range card to use at his location in the center of the ORP and return the original range card to the machine gun teams. Next, he will create a sketch of the entire squad's security plan to include sectors of fire for each weapon system or strong point of position, the location and sector for each claymore, the location and sector for the AT4, and the location and primary direction of fire for the M240 Bravo. Once all weapons are properly in place, the range card is accurate and complete, and the sector sketch is accurate and complete, the trail team leader will begin preparing the men in the ORP for night movement in accordance with the squad leader's additional instructions. Remember that every ranger will pull 3 to 5 meters off the line when preparing equipment. Rangers, throughout this entire process, the trail team leader will continue to monitor the men on the perimeter to ensure that they are alert and the security is being maintained. He will also monitor the RTO and ensure that he is listening to the radio. Next, we're going to talk about IDing the release point and conducting SLLS for the actual recon team. After moving approximately half the distance to the objective, the squad leader begins looking for a suitable place for the release point. The characteristics of a good release point are the same as an ORP, with the addition that it is easily identifiable features that is easy to locate. The RP is out of the sight of the objective, but not necessarily out of sound. Once the squad leader finds a suitable location for the release point, the squad leader signals the lead team leader to halt and occupy the release point. The squad leader conducts a security halt at the release point in the same manner as during the leader's recon for the ORP. After halting, the squad conducts SLLS. Once SLLS is complete, the squad places their rucks in accordance with the rucksack plan while maintaining security. The squad leader first places the rucksack according to the rucksack plan in the center of the release point. The squad leader places it frame down with the cat eyes facing towards the ORP. Next, the lead team leader places his rucksack to the left of the squad leaders. The security men for RNS 1 and 2 place their rucksacks down behind their RNS team leader's rucksack. The personnel on the SNO place their rucksacks down last. The squad leader ensures the element drops their rucksacks in the correct order. When Rangers are not placing their rucksacks down, they are pulling security. Once the element finishes dropping their rucksacks, the element moves up and pinpoints the objective. If the squad leader has not already issued a 5-point to the SNO, the squad leader does it in the release point. Depending on MET-TC, the squad leader may elect to leave the security personnel for RNS 1 and 2 in the release point while the squad leader pinpoints the objective. If the squad leader chooses to leave the Rangers, he issues a 5-point to them at this time. To ensure that the release point is easily identifiable, each man looks back at the release point when the element begins moving to the objective. Finally, we have to pinpoint the objective. Rangers in the recon element must use max stealth as they approach the objective and maintain situational awareness at all times as there may be enemy on the objective. The Rangers also want to utilize their binos to maximize standoff range between the objective and the recon elements. This helps the recon elements avoid compromise in their position. When the squad leader can see what he believes to be the objective, the element halts. The squad leader and lead team leader move forward so that the squad leader and lead team leader can pinpoint the objective. While staying in a covered and concealed position, the squad leader and team leader pull out their maps and compasses to pinpoint their positions and determine whether or not this is the objective. While the lead team leader and squad leader are doing this, the lead team automatic rifleman and the trail team grenadier provides local security for them. At this point, we get into the part of the recon where we must confirm, change, or abort. After the squad leader and team leader determine that they are at the objective, the squad leader has to decide to confirm, change, or abort the plan. If the initial plan works with the ground, the squad leader confirms the plan and executes as necessary. However, the squad leader may see a need to change certain parts of the plan because the terrain does not support the plan he briefed. For example, if the terrain on the site does not offer vantage points on both sides of the objective, the squad leader may decide to only use one R&S team. Another option is the squad leader may abort. Reasons for aborting the mission could be aggressive counter-recon patrols from the enemy that could prevent recon elements from conducting eyes on the objective, or insufficient time to complete the mission. If the squad leader has to abort, the squad leader extracts all personnel on the leader's recon back to the ORP. Once there, the squad leader contacts higher for further guidance. If the squad leader and lead team leader decide to confirm or change the plan, they're looking for several things. First, vantage points. The squad leader and lead team leader look for vantage points around the objective area for each recon and surveillance team to use. The side of the objective which provides the best vantage points is the side that the objective that the squad leader will be taking for an R&S Team 1. We're looking for limits of advance. The squad leader looks for a limit of advance on the objective. The LOA is an easily identifiable terrain feature that splits up the objective. The squad leader uses this as a control measure during the recon to ensure that both R&S teams do not run into each other during the recon. The squad leader looks for this feature on the far side of the objective. Example features are such as trees or roads. We're also looking for targets and sectors of fire. The squad leader designates targets and sectors of fire for the S&O teams. If the enemy compromises an R&S team, the S&O can engage these targets immediately. Additionally, if the squad leader and lead team leader gain all the PR from this location, they may do so and withdraw all personnel back to the ORP. There is no reason to get greedy and risk compromising the element if the squad leader and lead team leader can get all their PIR from this location. Next, in placing surveillance and observation team. After the squad leader identifies these important details, he will locate a position to place S&O teams. The position should provide the S&O team with cover and concealment and still enable them to observe the objective and obtain accurate PIR. The squad leader wants a position far enough away from the objective so that there's a lower chance of the enemy counter-recon patrols compromising the S&O team's position, but close enough to be able to employ all the weapon systems at that position. Once the squad leader locates the position, he briefs the S&O personnel on the limits of advance and vantage points and issues the S&O team's sectors of fire and the priority of engagement for the identified targets. After the squad leader ensures that the S&O team understands his instruction, he places the S&O team in the prone position. The automatic rifleman faces towards the objective and the grenadier faces away from the objective. The two rangers interlock their feet to utilize the tap code. After the S&O teams are in position, the squad leader conducts a final radio check and finishes the emplacement. Once the squad leader emplaces the S&O team and verifies that they are ready to begin collecting PIR, he informs the S&O team that their 5-point contingency plan is now in effect. Then, the squad leader and the lead team leader moves back to the release point to begin their recon. Next, we're going to talk about conducting the recon itself. At the release point, the squad leader and lead team leader confirm the limits of advance, vantage points, time, and the compromise plan. Then, they also ensure that all personnel understand the same information. Next, both teams assign their recon of the objective. The R&S teams move to their vantage points, gather PR in the salute format, and draw sketches of the objective. The example on my board shows the best vantage points were available to the east, so that's where R&S Team 1 recons. R&S Team 2 recons the west side of the objective. Now here's a few things that the R&S teams need to remember when conducting their recon. They must use the cloverleaf. The R&S team bounds back and away from the objective as they move from vantage point to vantage point. Second, they must use maximum stealth. Rangers utilize the appropriate IMT for the terrain and the vegetation. If Rangers high crawl into a position, the Rangers need to high crawl back out. They also need to remember to use cover and concealment. Rangers use all available cover and concealment to prevent the enemy from detecting their movement. This also serves to assist in the event that the Rangers get compromised. Never parallel the objective. Rangers move around the objective without paralleling the objective because they want to avoid detection by the enemy. And of course, standoff. Rangers want to use maximum standoff from the objective to prevent detection. Rangers need to use their binos to assist them in gathering PR from an extended distance. Rangers. As each R&S team approaches its next vantage point, they conduct a radio check with the S&O position to ensure that it is safe to approach the objective and to gather PIR. This prevents an R&S team from being surprised by a drastic change on the situation on the objective, such as the presence of a larger enemy since the last time the R&S team has eyes on the objective. As the R&S team occupies its vantage points, the R&S team leader faces towards the objective, his security man faces away from the objective with their feet interlocked to utilize the tap code and provide 360-degree security. When the R&S team leader has determined that he has collected all the PIR, he has the security man face towards the objective while maintaining noise and light discipline and confirms what the team leader has gathered, then moves to the next vantage point. Both R&S teams continue to conduct the recon of the objective until one of the four things happen. They've run out of time, they have collected all the PIR, they have reached the limits of advanced, or they have been compromised. Once all R&S teams run out of time, gains all PIR, or reach the LOA, they will return to the release point. I'll brief their actions if they get compromised at the end of this period of instruction. Next, let's talk about the confirmation of the priority intelligence requirements at the release point. After both R&S teams have returned to the release point, the R&S teams conduct SLLS. When SLLS is complete, the R&S teams compare PIR. If there are any major discrepancies, the PIR and the squad leader has the time remaining to conduct a recon of the objective. They flip-flop sides. One example of a major discrepancy is a team leader sees 3 trucks and the squad leader only sees none. To save time into moving to vantage points, the R&S team leaders change security men when they have moved to the recon the opposite sides of the objective. The reason they do this is that the security man has already been to that vantage point and on that side of the objective and can lead that R&S team leader to each vantage point. This security man has already known the routes to these vantage points, making occupying them much quicker. Next, let's cover the withdrawal and extraction of the S&O team. Once a recon of the objective is complete and the squad leader is ready to withdraw from the objective, he must first extract the S&O team from their position. The squad leader has 2 ways of doing this. He can call them on his embedder and then tell them to withdraw back to the release point. The other method is the squad leader and the lead team leader moves the S&O team's position and motion to the trail team leader to withdraw. The trail team leader grenadier then taps the lead team automatic rifleman 3 times and the team secures all their equipment and moves to the squad leader's location. Once all personnel are at the release point, the element conducts SLLS. Once SLLS is complete, the squad leader confirms that PIR that the lead team automatic rifleman gathered from the S&O position. If there's any PR that the S&O team that the squad leader wants to confirm and there's time remaining, the squad leader and the lead team automatic rifleman can move back the objective so the squad leader can get eyes on the PIR. Then, the 2 Rangers return to the release point. Once the squad leader confirms all of the PIR, he gets 100% accountability of all Rangers, weapons, and equipment. After verifying accountability, the squad leader calls the trail team leader via FM and tells him the recon element is returning to the ORP. This is the FAR recognition signal. The recon element moves to the ORP in the same formation and order of movement that the element used when moving to the release point. Prior to reaching the ORP, the lead team leader stops and exchanges the deer recognition signal with the trail team leader. When the trail team leader receives the call that the recon element is returning to the ORP, he moves around the ORP perimeter and transitions the Rangers into the short halt posture. Additionally, the trail team leader tells the Rangers in the ORP that the recon element is returning. After the trail team leader ensures everyone is in the short halt posture, he moves to the side of the perimeter where the recon element departed. The trail team leader prepares to exchange the near recognition signal and count the element back into the ORP. When the recon element moves into the ORP, all personnel return to their original positions and assumes the short halt posture. Once the whole squad is in the ORP, the squad conducts SLLS. The squad conducts SLLS to ensure no enemy track the recon element back from the objective. Once SLLS is complete, the squad leader decides the ORP is secure enough to disseminate information. If not, the squad needs to move to a more secure site to disseminate information. If the squad leader determines the ORP is secure enough to disseminate info, then the recon elements disseminate the information at the ORP. Now let's talk about the report itself and how to disseminate the information. If the squad leader determines that the squad needs to move, the squad leader gets 100% accountability of Rangers, weapons, and equipment, then moves the squads a minimum of 1,000 meters away or a major terrain feature away from the objective. This depends on MED-TC. Once the squad moves a major terrain feature 1,000 meters away, the squad leader gives lead team leader the signal and command to halt. The squad halts as previously described. When all movement ceases, the squad conducts SLLS. When SLLS is completed, the squad leader issues task conditions and standards to the team leader to set up the perimeter. The squad leader gives instruction on strong point of position and transitions men from the long halt posture. The squad leader places the machine gun team while the team leaders in places their men. Once this is complete, the squad leader spot checks to ensure his standards are met. Once the Rangers are in the long haul posture, the trail team leader ensures the squad maintains security. The lead team leader and the lead team automatic rifleman, the RTO, and the squad leader begin to consolidate the PIR and prepare the salute report for hire. The RTO consolidates the PIR utilizing carbon paper so he can make 3 additional copies to consolidate the PIR. On one side of the paper, the RTO consolidates the PIR into a salute format. The RTO makes military sketches on the other side. If the squad leader has any doubt as to what the PIR has gathered, or the squad leader is not satisfied, he may pull the security team from RNS 1, 2, or an SO team to the center to help prepare the salute report. When the salute report and military sketch has been completed, the squad leader gives the lead team leader tasks, conditions, and standards on how he wants him to disseminate the PIR to his Rangers. Team leaders, when you disseminate the PIR to each Ranger and during periods of good visibility, show them the salute format and military sketch as well as brief them. Also ensure that the Rangers know that a paper copy of the PR is waterproof in the left breast pocket of the ATL, the BTL, the squad leader, and the RTO's ACU top. The lead team leader starts briefing his personnel at the 9 o'clock positions and moves in a clockwise manner through the 12 o'clock to the 3 o'clock position. The trail team leader is in the center, and the squad leader issues him the same task conditions and standards for disseminating the information he gave the lead team leader, with the exception that the trail team leader will begin disseminating at the 3 o'clock position, to the 6 o'clock position, to the 9 o'clock position. Now let's talk about spot checking and the OPSKED. Before the squad leader sends the team leaders out to disseminate the information to the squad leader gets a back brief and issues a time hack. When the team leaders are done disseminating PIR and return to the center of the perimeter, the squad leader goes back and spot checks the teams and ensure everyone knows the PIR. If the squad leader is not satisfied, he will reissue task conditions and standards to the team leaders and redisseminate the PIR. The team leaders do this until the squad leader's task conditions and standards are met, or until the squad leader has the RTO make 12 individual copies of the PIR for each person in the squad. When the squad leader is satisfied that everyone knows the PIR, he has the RTO call the OPSKED to hire for mission complete. Now, so far we have not covered what to do in the event of a compromise. So now we're going to cover the compromise plan. The squad leader determines to conduct a squad attack or break contact if any time during the operation the squad makes contact or is compromised when the entire squad is together. If any element is separated from the squad, such as during a recon of the ORP or when conducting a recon of the objective, the element reacts to contact in accordance with the 5-point contingency plan the squad leader issues. Rangers, at this time we have covered how to properly conduct a squad-side reconnaissance. What are your questions at this time?